All right, guys, it is 9:13 p.m. First full day at home is in the books, and this is my earliest I've been done recording and working in a long time. But we got the Hoka Mach 6 now, and first full day at home because I've been in Florida for the past week, and I did not bring this shoe on the trip to Florida. I wanted to get some miles in the Super Blast. I wanted to get some miles in some other things, so I left this here. It's sitting at about 28 miles right now, and I've really enjoyed all of my miles in this guy. So tomorrow we are going to do a 20-mile double run day in this, and I always say the best workouts start the night before, and that's why we're trying to get to bed early. And by the way, we are on 73%. Someone was making a joke that I don't charge my Coros, but it is charged. And so the 20-mile double run day has been the most effective workout for me in improving my marathon specific endurance and becoming a better long distance runner. And so I have not put this through a 20-mile double day yet. And with all these daily trainer type of shoes, I like to get a lot of miles in them. If I can't do a straight 100-mile week, I need to get some double days. I need to get some long runs. So that's what we're going to do with the Hoka Mach 6 here. Test it across 2 runs. So first run in the morning, I'll probably do some type of workout, fire up my Jack Daniels book, but I want to run fast, guys. I'm feeling a little bit slow. I've been feeling a little bit sluggish over the past few weeks, so we need to get into that sharpening phase of marathon training, and this thing is a great shoe for that. It's got some pop to it. Every time I've put on this shoe, I've run 15 to 45 seconds faster than I intended, but it doesn't feel like it's forcing me to run fast. It just feels like a fun shoe to run fast in. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Hopefully it's still this white at the end of the day when we do our wrap up. I am going to try to get to bed at 9:15. This is amazing. I will see you guys probably not bright and early in the morning because I'm trying to get some Z's, but I will see you at some point in the morning. Hoka Mach 6 double run day test. Let's go, baby. All right, what's up, guys? It is, just turned to 8:38, and we got a cold morning out there. You cannot tell, but it is about 38 degrees Fahrenheit, which is near 0 Celsius. It is cold, and I've been getting a little bit of a late start this morning because I'm still catching up on sleep from the trip, but we are going to get 12 miles in the Hoka Mach 6 here. I'm going to go grab the Jack Daniels book because I want to find what workout we're doing. I really need to get some fast turnover this morning. I want to test these guys with some serious race pace, or actually faster than race pace, because I need to work some faster than race pace today. So I'm going to throw these by the door. Let's go grab that Jack Daniels book. Here we go. Charlie wanted to read The Atomic Habits by James Clear, so we've been both reading that book. But this is like the Bible when it comes to distance running, this Daniels running formula book. And the great thing about it, let me show you. So it's not just all the stuff that it has on, I got to finish my coffee too. Hold on. So what's so great about this book is it's not just all the stuff that it has on training principles. So he has, I think, 12 training principles. This one's about personal limits. There's all that. There's the training plans in the back, which you can see. But the really cool thing is the VDOT tables. And so let me find these guys for you. And so here, these are the VDOT tables. So VDOT was his system that Jack Daniels created from a ton of research that shows you based on your race pace. There's 2 parts of it. Based on your race pace, so if you ran let's find something, a 2-hour half marathon, for example, 2:01:19, it shows you, okay, you could probably run a 4:10 marathon, and your VDOT number would be 36. That's just a way to measure how fast you are across a bunch of distances. And then it could also say, okay, if you ran a 2:01:19 half marathon, you could probably run a 10K in about 54 minutes. So this is what I use to set all my training paces, because the other part of it is, let's see this. I got to find the other VDOT table. Here you go. So this is the other one that shows you based on your race result and based on that VDOT number. So remember, we were looking at 36. It shows you, okay, what should your easy running pace be? So if you ran that 2-hour half marathon, your easy running pace would be about a 10:30. And then it shows you with all these different workouts what your threshold pace should be, what your marathon pace should be. So I ran a 119 half marathon. So my VDOT was a 59 last fall. And that says my easy running pace, or relaxed running as I like to say, should be around a 7 minute to 7:50 pace right there. And then I should be running my marathon pace workouts at around a 6:19. And my threshold would be about a 5:59. Now, this is a great system. It's a great starting place because he has a bunch of workouts. And even if you're doing workouts yourself, or you want to follow some of the things that I've said in the past, or you're following Hanson's or you're following Higdon, you can go in here because a lot of those other training plans don't always prescribe paces. You go in here, you put in your recent race result, and then you get your VDOT, and then based on your VDOT number, you can get all your training paces. So this is an awesome tool. It's an awesome starting point. I will modify it. For example, a 6:19 marathon pace is a little fast, and some of his paces here actually feel a little fast if you're training at a higher volume. So for me, it's all about taking the parts of these different systems that work and implementing it into my own system. So I know that if I'm running 100 miles a week, which for my level of training is a lot of volume, I'm not going to be running all my marathon pace workouts at 6:19. I also don't need to be pushing myself to do that all the time. And then similarly, with the threshold pace around a 5:59, sometimes I can hit that for threshold, sometimes I don't. So again, it's also about feel and effort. So this is a good starting point. If I'm going to do a threshold workout, I know I probably shouldn't be running it at around a 7-minute pace. So if you have absolutely no idea where to start, then this can give you a really good guidance. And with all of these things, generally if you're plus 15 to 20 seconds slower or faster, depending on the workout, then you're in the right spot, especially for marathon effort. If you're running super hilly and depending on effort, some days my marathon pace, that's why I always do a range where I say my marathon effort is anywhere from a 6:15 to a 6:45. And again, based on how much volume you're doing and what you're prioritizing in a training block, that's also going to affect how fast you want to go. So if you're doing a lower volume training block, you might be able to hit some of these faster paces if you're focusing on speed. I have not been focusing on speed at all. That was not the goal of this training block. The goal of this training block was endurance. And I think oftentimes we think about different 4-week cycles within one 4-month training block. So this month is threshold. Next month, we're working more VO2 max. I like to take the view of I'm training for the next 5 to 10 years, right? I'm almost 30. So I have, based on the data we have right now, I have probably 10 more years of peak performance. And so I want to be doing what I can now to ensure that in 3 years, in 4 years, I can hammer some fast speed on a really high aerobic base. So this training block wasn't too much about speed, but today, man, there's some days where I'm like, I know I need to work some speed in. So today I need to work some speed. This is the plan that I've been following roughly, extremely roughly, the final 12-week program by Jack Daniels. It's just a little bit of a guide, and I've been trying to at least do the 22 milers each week. I don't always do these ridiculous workouts he has, but we are about 3 weeks out. And so the workout that I wanted to do this morning was this guy here. So this is what I like about Jack Daniels' marathon training plans is he has a bunch of them, but in a lot of them, he only does 2 quality workouts per week, which I think is a good setup if you want to be doing high volume. It's kind of hard to turn around after a long run on the weekends, do a workout on Tuesday, and then do another workout on Thursday. So with this, it combines one of those weekly workouts. It would combine, because I used to do race pace workouts on Thursday, it would combine that Thursday race pace workout with the weekend long run. So you get one quality workout on the weekend, which would be one of these 22 milers, and then one during the week. So today, this is what I'm, again, very roughly going to follow here, which would be this Q2. So that's the second quality session of the week. So 2 easy miles and then 4 rounds of 2 miles at threshold. And I live in a very hilly neighborhood, so I know I'm not going to be doing 8 miles today at a 5:59 pace. And I'm feeling, I don't know, my legs are a little bit fatigued and I want to start easing into this taper. So I might not take this all the way down to 6 flat pace, but the goal is to get some faster than race pace. So I definitely want to be below 6:30 for these and hopefully have a nice little progression. And so if I can have the 8 miles be, again, just below 6:30, that'll be great. and then we will do 2 miles cool down for 12 miles on the day. And then we're going to get another nice relaxed run with the stroller this afternoon. So that's the goal for today. Man, 3 weeks out, it's a little bit scary. We're getting closer and closer to race day, but some final opportunities here to work in some speed and to remember what it feels like to run fast, because we've been running relaxed and we've been running long and we've been getting a lot of miles. So it's going to be nice to get some faster speed work this morning and test how the Hoka Mach 6, which are somewhere over there by the door, do with some pace. So I'm going to finish up my food here, get changed, and I will see you guys in a few. Man, I unfortunately think today, this is going to be a gloves day. I thought we were done with these gloves days, especially because I was in sunny Florida, but we're back in apparently cold North Carolina. I don't even know where my gloves are. Buried in the bottom here because I thought this was over. All right, here we go. All right, we got the gloves. We got the hat. We got the long sleeve again. Oh, gosh. You guys ever save your good running pants? You see your running pants in here, and you're like, I want to wear those later in the week. I'm going to use my bad running pants today. All right. So these are not bad running pants, but these are the John G ones, but I've been loving the Tracksmith session pants. They're very expensive, but shout out to Tracksmith. They actually sent them to me to test, which is fire. So we're going to Nathan gloves. Nathan doesn't make great water bottles, but their gloves are fire. Luca hat, and then long sleeve and long pants, hopefully for the last time ever. All right, I'm going to get these on. Should I do that thing where I go, No, that's not on this channel. All right, I got changed. I just wanted to let you guys know, because I was wearing my Duke shirt to sleep in last night. I got word that I officially passed all my classes, so I will be graduating. I got a little sticky there at the end because, with all the stuff I do, I have to be kind of ruthless about what I prioritize, and let's just say I ruthlessly prioritized other things like this channel and Supwell. So we did pass. Stay in school, kids, but make sure you prioritize the right things, and if passing is the goal, then just pass. So we'll be graduating in May. Thank you guys, as always, for all the support, man. By the way, Hobby Jogger hats are officially sold out, so thank you to everyone who bought one. Maybe I'll order some more, maybe I'll get some new merch, but no more Hobby Jogger hats for now. All right, it's still a little cold out there, so we're going to be lacing up inside today. So far with the Mach 6, I actually think I might have done a double the first day with these, but I went on the treadmill, and so I got those 20 miles, and then I did a comparison test with, I'm trying to remember what shoe I compared this to. I think the Rebel, we did the comparison test. Let me know what else you want to see me compare this to. And I also compared it to the Nova Blast. So I think, those are the two times I've run in the shoe. We got about 30 miles. Now today, going to put another double on it. I haven't gone really fast, high-end speed, like this threshold speed with it. So this is going to be a nice test today. I've really enjoyed how this foam feels here. It's one of my favorite training foams. I think this and the Brooks foam and the Go 16 have been two of my favorite training foams this year. So today we'll see how it does with some fast speed. This is going to be one of our last fast workouts of the block. And man, I'm really hoping that my recovery from this marathon isn't too beastly so that we can continue racking up miles on these shoes. But 12 miles with some faster pace in here, let's get it. By the way, if you are thinking about getting these Mach 6, I do want to note the white ones run about a half size to a full size snug versus the blue colorway, at least in the two that I got, because Hoka sent me a 10.5 in a different colorway, and then I bought these white ones myself. And so I already got miles on the white ones, so I decided to keep these guys, even though they're a little bit snug. But they feel fine now. They've stretched out a little bit, but just saying, if you're going to buy the white ones, make sure that you go up probably half a size or try them on at your local store. A lot of the local running stores carry the Mach 6 because this is a very popular franchise. All right, guys, it's time to get it in the cold. Let's do it. And cold, but it is a beautiful day in North Carolina. Look how green the grass is.
All right, guys, we just finished, and it's Tuesday, so we got the trash truck, and we got the lawnmowers going. The Suburban Symphony, I love it. Anyway, let's see what we got here. 14 miles, average 6:55 pace, 1 hour and 37 minutes. In these pop-in Hoka Mach 6, baby, let's go. This is an amazing shoe. This is gonna be up there, I think, for daily trainer, or just not daily trainer of the year, maybe daily trainer of the year, but most recommended, most crowd-pleasing daily trainer and running shoe. I've said this in probably every video I've done in this shoe, but if you need an everyday running shoe and you're not sure what to get and you want something fun, just buy the Hoka Mach 6. So this run started off a little choppy. I was at about 6:30 pace for the first set of 2 miles. So again, the workout was a little bit of a warm-up, 2-mile warm-up, and then 4 rounds of 2 miles at a threshold pace with 2 minutes of rest in between. And I was at about 6:30 for the first mile, and then just gradually eased into it. And a little bit of a choppy transition coming back off the flats in Florida to the hills out here in North Carolina. But we finished strong, and we met a little friend along the way at the end, which was awesome. I'll tell you about that in a sec. All right, I'm gonna grab my slides and then we can do this wrap up here. All right, guys, 14 miles in the Hoka Mach 6 here, and we got some of the leaf blowers going. I don't know how loud it is for you guys, but it's a little bit loud. We're just gonna push through. Wow, look at this. So we now have about 40 miles on this shoe, and I know one of our main concerns was durability. It does not look like we're gonna get great durability off of this back foam here. That is crazy. Let me check out the other shoe. I guess it's a little bit less here, yeah. Right side, the wear is a little bit less. I have an imbalance on the left side. I drag my heel a little bit more, so if you are a heel striker, you're gonna be wearing through that foam pretty badly. Anyway, thoughts on the Hoka Mach 6 here for this threshold workout. Hold on, I'm gonna move to the back because it's really loud. All right, guys, I think that is a little bit better out here with the sound. And we got some beautiful sights. Let me just show you what we have going on over here. Bang! Man, that is just... So anyway, we just finished 14 miles in this crispy white Hoka Mach 6 here, and this is going on my list of the top 5 most versatile shoes. I gotta get that video out, the top 5 do-it-all shoes, top 5 favorite shoes. And the reason this guy is going on there is because this foam is, I'm just gonna say it, this is the best training foam of the year, and paired with the stack here, so we got 37 up in the heel and about 32 in the forefoot. Paired with the stack, this midsole setup is elite. Man, it's great because you get the cushion. It's great for that normal everyday running pace. And then when I pick it up, when I stomped on it, it was great for that threshold pace too. Tuesdays are just rough, dude. We got the leaf blowers going back here too. I'm just gonna push through and hopefully you can't hear it as badly as I can. So that's the first thing. We got a nice amount of cushion, and then this foam here is so bouncy. This is one of the bounciest foams that I've used in recent memory. Rebel V3 is right up there with this. Rebel V4, they took away a little bit of the bounce and added more of this soft feeling instead. Rebel V4, I'm not sure if I said V3 or V4, but the current generation of the Rebel took away a little bit of the bounce. This feels almost identical to that old generation of Fuel Cell. This is a really nice training foam. So for the workout, I started off around that 6:30 pace, then we worked down in the shoe to a 5:40 pace on the last mile. And this foam responded really well to that high-end threshold. You can see with the amount of stack we got up here and the slight curve, this little light rocker, it's got everything you need for fast running. And I was only planning on going up to 12 miles today, but because the shoe was feeling so good, I decided to extend to 14, got a little bit more of that aerobic effort, and the shoe felt really good for that entire 90, actually almost 100 minutes this morning. So key downsides though are gonna be, you can see what we got going on right here. Unfortunately, we're starting to wear into the foam. The rubber is actually doing okay. No, I lied. The rubber's actually getting a little bit flat back here. So we'll see how this holds up. If you are a heel striker, you're gonna get some wear here. other than that, I don't really have any complaints on this shoe at this point. We'll have to see how the durability is. And the other thing is, with how bouncy this foam is, I'm having a hard time thinking it's gonna feel great at 150, 200 miles. Again, only the miles will tell us that, but as it is right now, super fresh out of the box, it feels awesome. And generally with these foams that feel like this, they don't feel like that for their entire life. But this is an EVA, supercritical EVA. EVA tends to have better durability, so we will see. Now for the run itself, I wanna fire up my splits and talk through the execution of this workout. See if this is loaded yet. And this is one of my issues with this Coros watch. I'm actually not loving it. I might see if we can get a Garmin in here to test, and I also should get a review up of the Coros. Let me know if you want to see the 1,000 mile Coros review, because we've been working on it. It's sitting in the queue. But look at this. It's been refreshing data for as long as I've been talking, and it takes a while for everything to load. The tech in here is just okay. The Apple Watch tech, of course, because it's Apple, a $1 trillion corporation, tech is a bit better. But with the Coros, the reason why I went with it was because it's supposed to be simple, just get the job done, and I'm feeling a little bit like they tried to overcomplicate it with too much tech, and the core functionality has suffered a bit because of that. For example, while we're waiting for this, we can fire up what I'm talking about here so you can see. Let's take a look at just the base metrics that it gives me here. So 42 degrees. The other thing was, because we were in Savannah over the weekend, it was stuck on Savannah for 2 days until about an hour ago. It finally updated again to Charlotte. So that's one thing that I'm talking about. And then, yeah, my marathon, this is the running fitness projection. It tells me I can run a 2:56 marathon when I just ran a 2:55 in training with a relatively low heart rate. So the tech in here is not great. All right, I'm gonna move inside. Maybe getting this on Wi-Fi will help this sync up. And also these leaf blowers are just going ham right now. So let's pop inside real quick. Man, those leaf blowers are loud. I can still hear them inside here. All right, our run finally loaded onto the Coros. No, that was on Sunday. I actually took a rest day yesterday. So 14 miles, average 6:55 pace, average heart rate 158. All right, and then we can see our sets here. So this is everything in the Coros. I don't love looking at the Coros app, so let me go into Strava. It will typically load into Strava here. So here we go. It's now loaded into Strava. Let me update this real quick. All right, so here we go. Updated it, 4x2 miles. I set my third fastest time in the 2 mile. That's nice. I've been feeling like I haven't been making that many breakthroughs with speed because I've been so focused on mileage and endurance, but it's nice when we see that happen. All right, let's go. Workout analysis. So we can see here, I kept it pretty consistent throughout, but had a nice little progression through these sets here, and that was the goal of today. So we started off with the warm-up, 746, and then a 723. And then we got into the first set here. We did the first set at a 630 and then a 612. And this is the thing, I usually treat my first set in a workout as an extended part of the warm-up. So I didn't want to go out and immediately hammer a 550. I could do that. And the other thing is I could have done some strides, some short bursts of speed in the first 2 miles to get into it, but it's not really about that for me during marathon training. I like to ease into it, and especially if I'm going to be doing 14 miles of volume, there's no need for me to try to hammer fast pace right away. Makes a little bit more sense to try to negative split or go faster toward the end instead, which we were able to do today. So first two, 748, 723, then we drop down to 630 and 612. Let's take a look at the elevation gain here too. You can see it's very hilly. If you can see the gray in the background behind the blue, this is the elevation map. So for some of these here, like the second mile, the 612, this is where it started to get a little bit hilly. And then I took about a 2-minute rest. I wasn't actually monitoring my watch for these. I was kind of going by feel, but it turned out to be exactly 0.25 or 2 minutes rest in between, just nice and relaxed jogging. That was about an 8-minute pace. And then the next set, this is where we started to get into the meat of it, 6:06, 6:03. Not too much elevation on this second mile here, or fourth mile of working, but second mile of the second set. Then I took a little bit of a longer rest on this one because, as you can see, this is where the elevation gain starts to get a little bit grindy. So I knew I didn't want to start hammering 6 flat pace on this hill. So I went a little bit longer on this rest here, try to get to some flat. As you can see, that didn't exactly work out because on this next set, we were, if you can see the gray, still going pretty much just uphill the entire time. So then we hold a 6:06, 6:14. Legs are a little bit fatigued from that hill. That's okay. And we're also getting out into the main road here, 51, which is kind of like a in between a road and a highway. And then another recovery, about 2.5 minutes here, 0.28 miles, and then absolutely hammered these last two. And what's nice is the last mile is a downhill. So we were able to get a 5:43 on this downhill. And I was feeling pretty rough going into this. My legs are a bit fatigued. I had 2 back-to-back hard long runs. So one of them 2 weeks ago was the 26.2 mile long run. And then last week, let me see if I can pull this up here. Last week or a few days ago, I had this 23-mile long run in Florida, and I had 10 miles of marathon effort here. And I was only clipping off, I was pretty consistent between 6:29 and 6:39. I would have loved to get into the 6:20s for most of these, but my legs just weren't working like that. I also had the Super Blasts on, which weren't exactly working for me. Maybe they're a little bit big, I'm starting to think. So when the Super Blast 2 come out, I'm going to make sure to get them in a smaller size. But this was a pretty beast run. And then I took a 6-mile recovery on Sunday, so about an hour long, and I took yesterday off. So coming into this today, my legs are pretty fresh, but getting back to the elevation, 650 feet of elevation, versus if you look at the run that we did on Sunday in Florida, 33 feet of elevation. So this was a bit of an adjustment back, but we did get 14 miles this morning, which is nice. And we progressed it, which I love to do in these workouts. So overall, the Mach 6 here, this was a great shoe for that. It handled the warm up really nicely. It didn't feel like it was encouraging me to run too fast, and that's something I look for in a hybrid daily trainer and speed training shoe. How does it do at my normal everyday running pace? Is it okay for that? And yes, this thing smashed it. It felt so good for the warm-up. It's smooth as earth balance, man. It just cruises along, and then when I got into that faster pace, it went through all of those gears super nicely, just like that 8-speed auto in my Jeep Wrangler. So great shoe here. It's got a lot of grip. Traction was awesome this morning. I've tested it in the rain, and it's pretty good too. Padding is nice around the back. So overall, this was an awesome shoe for this morning's workout. I've been running a lot of my workouts in plated shoes, and this had a lot of the qualities that those shoes have, which is nice pop, nice planted feel, and it doesn't have the most stability out in the heel here, but the foam is so bouncy that it feels like the time I'm contacting the ground is just a lot lower than other non-plated shoes. So that's a plus. And then the lockdown is really nice too. And so last thing here with the splits, the last thing I wanted to go through was my cool down. So we did a 3-mile cool down here, and that was at a much slower pace than the rest of the workout. I was, look at this pacing, 8:12, 8:12, 8:11. So I was pretty locked into a pace, let the heart rate come down to the 130s here, which is nice. So the Mach 6 did great for this recovery range too. And that's more so what we'll be testing later today. How does it do for a longer recovery run or slower aerobic run? So 8:12, 8:12, 8:11. This afternoon, we're probably going to be around in 8:30 pace. But so far, I am super impressed with this Mach 6 here. Comfortable, fast, fun. This has got to be one of the most fun daily trainers this year, with a decent amount of protection too. So it's more fun than the Nova Blast, a little bit less protective than the Nova Blast. It's bouncier than the Rebel V3. It's not as lightweight and minimalist feeling. You don't get as much ground contact, which is the trade-off, but this is an awesome shoe. It's going to be a big hit, big crowd pleaser this year. All right, guys, I'm going to get some recovery in, but Mach 6, good job. Let's see what we got for lunch. I don't think we're too stacked up for lunch right now. Don't tell Charlie I had my running shoes in the living room. All right, guys, I'm just putting away the Mach 6 here, and
because we've been testing so many shoes this year, the office is getting out of control. And we got some of these guys here to test that are still sitting in the box. So if you have a shoe storage solution that you love that can hold dozens of shoes, let me know. I'm going to be super grateful if someone could recommend some good shoe storage for me, because this is a nightmare. This was the rotation rack when I wasn't testing a lot of shoes. Now that I'm testing these shoes and putting some good mileage on them and like to have them all out visible, it's a little bit sprawling. So I would love if somebody can let me know, what should I get to organize these a little bit better? Because I want to still be able to see them, but they need to be away, not on the floor. Please let me know. So the last thing I forgot to say about these splits here was that this super nice dude on a bike actually paced me for this last set, because he saw me running down 51 and he called out to me, "How fast are you running?" And I looked down my watch. I told him 550s. And he said, "Wow, it took me a long time to catch up to you." And it turns out he's the dad or father-in-law of this guy in the neighborhood, Mike, he's almost won the Charlotte Marathon a few times, and he lives somewhere around here. But Mike is an absolute beast. And this guy said he used to run with him on the bike and stuff. And so he paced me for the last mile. We were chatting. And then I was realizing, because I was getting a little bit down in the first set here, that I wasn't able to break through the 6 mile range. But I was realizing my fitness was a lot better than I thought, because I was able to hold a full conversation with him at this 550 and 543 pace. Granted, it was on a downhill, but sometimes just breaking out of the little shell can help. And shout out to, his name is Sean. So shout out to Sean on the bike who helped pace me today. That was awesome. All right, guys, all showered and clean. Let's see what we can find for lunch here. No, it's funny because I don't watch YouTube anymore, really, because this has turned into kind of a job for me. But I've been thinking about redoing, let's see what we have. Do we have a chicken patty? Yes, we have a vegan chicken patty here. But I've been thinking of redoing my Jeep, maybe getting some new tires as a graduation present to myself, because I finally graduated with my MBA. So I've been looking at some Jeep YouTube accounts, and one of the guys his channel is Trail Recon. I love him. He has great positive energy. But it's funny because he was talking about the tires he was getting for his Jeep. He has a Gladiator, and he wasn't getting the biggest tires possible. He wasn't going to put 37s on it. And he said, "I know there's going to be some keyboard warrior out there who says it doesn't look good because the tires are too small." And that just got me thinking, man, I've been through some tough things in my life, but the keyboard warriors on this channel, they get to me. The reason I'm bringing this up is because there was a comment on the long run video I did, the last long run video I did in the Super Blast, and someone was criticizing me for using too many gels. And they said something about, I don't know, but they're saying the Super Blasts were expensive, the gels were expensive. They're basically saying I looked like a jerk because I was wearing expensive shoes and running with expensive gels. And I don't always use the gels. The whole purpose of me going on this tangent is nutrition and fueling properly is such a big part of what lets us hit these high mileage levels, but it is certainly not a requirement to use 4 or 5 gels for every long run. And I don't do that every week. I am doing it every week right now leading up into this race, because I want to make sure that I am locked in with everything. So gear, fueling, pacing. So doing these tests every week, making sure I can get the gels down. I've been using the Mortons, making sure I can get the Mortons down, making sure I know when to take them. So every 20 to 30 minutes, making sure I can take them with water, take them without water. That's a big part of it on race day. Making sure that we're fueled up, we have all those carbs, is what's one of the things that helps us hit those PRs. It's not everything. So all of that is to say, again, proper fueling, proper nutrition is a big part of increasing our running, improving our running. And the gels and all the supplements, that's one piece of it. But the base is real food. So what I had for breakfast was oatmeal. I'm going to try to have a big carb-heavy lunch here. And we usually try to be as efficient as possible with our groceries. So we do a lot of shopping at Aldi. I actually had a section
in that video, the Brooks, it was the Super Blast long run video that I took out because I thought it was a little bit off topic about where we shop. And this exact packet of cheese was in that video. So I will drop that in right here. All right, guys, one last thing I need to show you before we get on with our day and meet you at the long run. But I got all this stuff at Aldi, the grocery store, for $35. So I know a lot of you guys with families probably know this, but they do their cheap prices by doing no brands. So all their stuff is generic store brands. They got the vegan cheese, quinoa. We got, let's see, if you need to do a carb load on a budget, let me brighten this up for you. If you need to do a carb load on the budget, this is probably the best way possible. We got the ciabatta, the bagels, the bread. They even got some fig bars. These are vegan too. The cauliflower Cheez-Its, graham crackers, fire. All this, plus the hummus, all this for $35. So if you need to get a lot of groceries and decent quality stuff on a budget, check out Aldi. I'm not sponsored by them, but I should be, man. We need the Aldi sponsorship. If anyone knows someone at Aldi, let me know. All right, guys. See you soon. So yeah, Aldi is awesome if you are a runner on a budget and you want to maximize those dollars, make them stretch. You don't need to be getting tons of supplements every week. You can fuel with simple carb sources, tortillas, rice, bread. These are things that I love to eat. I eat a ton of bagels. And then for dinner, we usually have really high quality vegetables. Charlie will make stir fries. She makes curries. I don't eat meat, but if you eat lean meat, then that's a great addition as a protein source. I do a lot of tofu, tempeh, chickpeas, but there are ways that we can fuel as runners that don't cost a lot of money. And another thing is my whole philosophy is we should maximize our training based on our resources. So our time, our money, and our knowledge. So if you can't afford the fancy gels and you want to work those into the training plan, those will help you and they're easier, but it's not the only way to do it. There's other ways. So if you don't have access to that because of money or you're not sure which ones to get, then you can fuel with a bigger breakfast before that long run and get some of those calories beforehand. You could even take some orange juice out there in a bottle, mix it with some water for some quick carbs. So there are ways to get around this. You don't need to buy all the fancy products in the running store. And we're just going to keep it super simple for lunch today. Charlie just pulled up in the mom wagon. I'm hoping she has an Aldi haul today. We'll see. All right, guys, so no Aldi, but we did get the Trader Joe's haul today. So we just brought all the bags in. Charlie agreed to do a breakdown of everything that she got for us this week. So she's outside, but when she comes back in, we can get into it. All right, guys, so this is what one Saucony Endorphin Pro 4 worth of groceries looks like. All right, you want to talk us through the haul here? The beans, protein, main protein source. Oh, this is fire. This is the thing with Trader Joe's. They just have randomly fire stuff. Sun-dried tomatoes.
Pizza dough for calzones later this week.
Calzones.
Some vegan meat, this way chorizo and sausage, and the beefless.
Someone commented on one of my videos, pork sausage greater than vegan sausage.
I've never had pork sausage in my whole life.
I'm also like, people should eat what makes them happy. Like, if you want to wear a red shirt.
You're not saying this is what's the best.
No, but it's also like, it's like I like red shirts and someone just says, well, blue shirts are better. Yeah, these are pretty good though. They're definitely not the best vegan sausage, but they got the job done. The best are field roast. Field roast are probably also the healthiest, right?
Is that true?
With the wheat gluten versus the pea protein.
Like you think it's less processed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
But these are pretty solid. Ooh, tzatziki dip. This is what I'm saying. Trader Joe's will just have random fire stuff. What is this? Garlic herb pizza dough? That's fire too. That's new. Okay, cool. For the kids, we got the almond. Well, for the kids, we got the almond butter cocoa bars.
Yeah, you'll probably eat half.
This is really good. This is what is my favorite for pre-race meals. She'll make, what is it called? Bolognese?
Yeah.
Yeah, bolognese with this beefless ground beef and a huge thing of pasta. Cool, calzones. And what vegetables do you get? Baby broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower.
Brussels sprouts, so I got two.
Yeah, because she's pregnant again.
Just kidding.
Too soon.
Way too soon. Peppers, broccoli. I got these because citrus is in season. Also, they just looked really good. Sweet potatoes, pineapple for our daughter.
What?
Car wash. You're ready to go to sleep.
Yeah. He ate some of his stuff, or did he throw it on?
You're on the floor.
Okay.
toddler
And
stuff.
good carbs. This is my favorite.
Dude, that
Are we
bread is
saving this
really
for
good.
something, or can I eat it?
I was gonna do split pea soup.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, didn't you say last night Mason wanted soup?
Yeah, she wanted split pea soup.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not a big soup guy.
Why not?
These are fire, though.
You always said split pea soup was your favorite. 'Cause
Yeah,
your
but I
mom
need-
used to make it for you.
Yeah, my mommy did. And then these, we gotta, if we're doing the soup, we gotta do something more robust.
Yeah, I always do. I was gonna do it with cornbread, but I guess we.
Oh,
do it
fire.
without
Do it with that, yeah. And then we're gonna do taco night.
Yeah, I got these because they're corn and wheat. Because it doesn't like corn
Oh,
tortillas.
no, the yellow corn tortillas. I'm too American for that.
He's a problem.
Yeah.
He's the problem.
This is,
guys.
these are the fire ones. All white flour, baby. Let's go. And it was you said it was $2.30 total?
Yeah, 230 cashews for cashew sauce. Vegan chocolate chips. Snacks.
For chocolate
Did we
chip
already cover
pancakes?
that? Sure, yeah, whatever.
Or just to have on deck?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do a vegan chocolate chip pancake making tutorial. Or not tutorial.
It's gonna be at like 11 p.m.
Yeah, my emergency
Freaking out.
snack. All right, this is fire. What does the fridge look like right now?
The fridge is not very robust. The
Oof,
fridge is pretty-
empty.
It's a little bare right now.
Yeah, because we were away.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Don't mind the tofu. The tofu we got recently. Don't look at that.
that's what we got today.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and we just keep tofu.
Chicken greater than tofu. Oh.
And we have eggs because we
For the
give
kids.
Just in case anyone did something aggressive. Yeah, he keeps taking one bite and then.
Any last words of wisdom for the hobby joggers out there on optimizing their grocery budget?
Plan ahead and meal prep. Yeah.
So that is where we meal prep right there. The family calendar is not
There's nothing on it. Well,
this week.
I guess that was. You can show them from the previous week, right? Cheese plate. Oh, that was for our daughter's birthday. Cornbread and chili, and some like curry or dal.
Yeah, this is her system to help organize the food. And then when we lived in New York, we would always get home at 8 or 9 p.m. and just be asking each other, yeah, what's for dinner tonight? So Charlie came up with this meal organization system.
It also it helps keep you on budget and make sure that you have the ingredients that you need to prep in advance, and not at 8 p.m. when everyone's starving.
Well, thank you. Let me know what else you guys want to see on Supple Kitchen.
Do a meal prep. I think you should show, like, in an ideal week, what we meal prep for the week and what things you have in the freezer and in the fridge prepped in advance.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, meal prep coming soon to Supple Kitchen, baby. Let's go. All right, lunch part 1. We got the wrap with the vegan cheese, the vegan chicken patty, and some greens. This is not enough calories, so I'm going to get into lunch part 2 in a little bit. All right, 140, we got lunch number 2. Got 2 more of these snack wraps. So tortillas, I got some honey mustard drizzled on top. We got the greens because we're trying to be healthy. And then I think these are the black bean burgers from Aldi with some of the vegan cheddar. This is probably about 1,000 calories here, maybe 800 calories. What do you think? Calories? I said 800 to 1,000. And these are the burgers. 130 each.
60 calories for the cheese each slice.
Okay.
120, 460 plus 120 is what? 580?
Plus the honey. So 600 to 700.
Yeah.
All right, so I was close with the 800. All right, 600 to 700 calories. This is why I don't count calories, because I can't count. Look what the cat dragged in. 250 snack time at the park. We got the almond, chocolate, and cashew Trek mix. Fire. I'm back in the ghost smack. Eat the flowers? Yeah. All right, guys, 4:30 something. We are on to run number 2. We got Reevesy in the stroller. He is chilling out, finally. And we're going to do our classic 8-mile stroller route around the neighborhood. So the whole reason I do these double days is to get some extra aerobic mileage. What are you looking at? See? And aerobic mileage is that nice, relaxed running effort where we're helping build endurance. That's the whole point of this. We do the fast stuff in the morning, we do the workouts in the morning, then we build our endurance and we recover in the afternoon. So 1 hour, nice, relaxed aerobic and recovery run. And we'll test how these Hokas do. I mean, they have some nice cushion, so I think it's gonna be a nice, comfortable ride. I hope that they don't. My main thing with this run is I just hope that they don't force me to run faster than I want to. That's the only thing. But I think we're ready to cruise. You ready to go, buddy? Flower? Yeah. The flowers are super nice. You want me to get you one? Yeah.
Let's just marvel at the grass for a second. These guys do a good job, man. The guy who's been cutting my grass has been doing it for the past 20 years. He did it for the previous owner, and then when he bought the house, he kept actually doing it for like 3 months until he contacted me, and I pay him, of course, but he did it for free for 3 months because he's been doing it for so long, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So I will put the name up on the screen here. If you're in the Charlotte area, these guys are really good. Got the grass looking like Fenway. All right, guys. Wow, I really need to use the bathroom. Finish. Let's see. 8.2 miles, 8:13 pace with the stroller. We got Amazon coming up here. Oh man, I'm gonna pee my pants. All right, Reezy, let's go around down. Mach 6, off-roading in the stroller. Hello. What are you listening to today? Kayla, nice. Is that what we got? I can take it.
You enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, you too. A little something for the sink drama. Here you go. All right, guys, 8 miles in the Mach 6. Man, this is such a comfy shoe. Comfortable and fast. Comfortable, fast, and fun. That is the holy trifecta of daily trainers. Right, Reevesy? Say comfy, fast, and fun. So yeah, that was pretty smooth. I don't think they had as much pop and bounce in the second run as the first run, but that's to be expected. The one thing is, though, I'm starting to think that second run of the day performance is going to be pretty connected to how the foam fares over that 200-mile mark. So it usually seems like if the foam feels a little flat on the second run, the foam isn't going to feel as great at the 200-mile mark. So we'll have to see. But overall, I am very pleased with the performance of this guy for the double run day test. All right, we're going to go inside, have some dinner, and I'll do a final wrap-up thoughts now that we have 50 miles on this guy, and probably compare it to a few other of the options on the market. Let's get it. What is that?
It's about to be cashew cheese sauce, but I'm doing it the fast way.
Oh, fire. Boiling water with cashews?
Yeah, that's the fast way.
What's the slow way?
The best way is to soak them overnight.
Oh, okay. This is the microwave version.
You should back up and get the light with the window. Is that going to be overexposed?
No. Call me for a sponsorship. We got the chorizo, the tacos.
Chorizo and black beans.
Oh, chorizo and black beans for extra protein. The tacos, fajitas, and the star of the show. What is this? How'd you make it?
Cashews in hot water for 5 minutes. Nutritional yeast, milk, salt, paprika.
Fire.
Corn and wheat bottom. That's why I made the chorizo.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you. Eat your plate and eat your tortilla. That was gonna be the best way.
Oh, that's fire. Bang.
vegan tacos courtesy of Supwell Kitchen, corn tortillas. Well, I think they're corn and wheat. The vegan chorizo and black beans with the fajitas, cashew, queso, and then a little greens. Thank you, Charles. All right, guys, dinner is finished. It's 7:05. I want to bang out this final recap, thoughts after 50 miles on the Hoka Mach 6, and then do some comparisons, alternatives, let you know where it sits in the market, and what other shoes you might be able to buy, how it compares to these guys. So after 50 miles, I am highly impressed with the Mach 6. I have very few complaints about it. The main one is really durability. How is this foam going to hold up? And not just the exposed foam on the back, because I know I scuffed my left foot a little bit, so that's to be expected. It is weird that they didn't just add some of the rubber from here to here, but that's not really the durability concern I have. It's more, how is this going to hold up past that 200-mile mark? I have a feeling, and it's just a feeling, only the miles will tell, but I have a feeling it's not going to be great based on how it performed on the second run here. But other than that, this is a super fun shoe. At $140, you're getting a ton of value out of this. I put 22 miles on it today, which is equivalent to... Sorry, had a little disruption there, and then I finished cleaning the kitchen. Now we're back. But as I was saying, 22 miles on this today. I think that was probably close to 3 hours. Let's check what the Cordo says. Yeah, 2 hours and 48 minutes total. And there was no time today where I felt like I needed more support or more cushion. So this 37 millimeters in the heel and then 32 in the forefoot is more than enough stack. This can crank out any type of run. I still needed to do a true long run, but went 14 miles in it in this morning and performed amazing. So this is a highly recommend. One concern is the durability, other is the fit. Just make sure you have the right fit, but lockdown is great. Very comfortable upper, nice and breathable. This cushion and foam is top tier, best training foam I've tried this year. And then we got some really nice grip up in the forefoot. We don't have any rubber out here on the back, which is going to be an issue for heel strikers, but other than that, this thing is killer, man. So I did want to do quick comparisons to some of these other shoes, and specifically the $140 daily trainers that I've tested this year. So the versus the Rebel, this guy is going to be lighter, lower stack. If you want something with more ground feel, lower to the ground, and a little bit easier to turn over the legs with less of that bounce, that would be the Rebel. So I think most people are going to be happier with the Mach 6 because it has more of that bounce, more of that pop, more of that fun feeling. But if you're more of a traditionalist and you want a lower stack daily trainer or something lightweight to help build leg strength, that's what you can get out of the Rebel. Now, Nova Blast here. This is also one of my favorites this year, but this is completely different than the Mach 6. It's way more built up. It's not as bouncy. It's a lot more protective. So we got 42 millimeters of stack back here. And with this firmer foam, this is a shoe that can just crush through miles. So if you want something exclusively for long runs, you're not going to pick up the pace. You're not going to be doing faster runs or workouts. Maybe you're doing more recovery style runs, or you want a recovery shoe. That's where I'd go for the Nova Blast over the Mach. But if you want something for true everyday runs that's going to be good for faster running, I would go for the Mach 6 here. Now, I did pull out, well, let's wait for this for a sec, but the other shoe I want to talk about that I liked a lot this year that I tested was the Puma Velocity Nitro 3. And this is an interesting comparison to the Mach because this is almost like the evil twin of the Mach 6. It's almost like Batman or Christian Bale from Batman versus the Mach 6 would be Christian Bale from American Psycho. I guess they're both kind of evil in their own ways, but the Puma here is a lot firmer. It's a lot more rigid. It doesn't feel as fun at slower paces. It's a shoe that you got to put some pace and work and effort into it to get something in return, but it's very protective. It was great for a 20 plus mile long run. And if you like a firmer feeling daily trainer, a firmer feeling shoe, that's where I'd go for the Puma Velocity Nitro 3 over the Mach 6. The Mach 6 is definitely on the softer side. If you don't like these softer, squishier foams, you're not going to like this shoe. That's probably the one segment of people that's not going to like this shoe. But as I've said, this is a crowd pleaser. So if you want a crowd pleasing shoe that's nice and soft and buttery smooth, Mach 6. If you want something a little bit firmer, maybe you're a bigger runner, I would go for the Puma Velocity Nitro 3. But I have to say, almost 3 hours of running in this guy today, and it did not bottom out at all. So I think most people are going to be happy with this, but Puma would take it if either you want that super durable outsole grip and super sticky outsole, or if you want something with just a little bit more structure. This has a very narrow fit too, by the way. But last shoe here. The reason I brought this guy out, this is the Adidas Boston 12, which a lot of you know is one of my favorite all-time shoes, favorite plated training shoe. And this is a shoe that I did a lot of workouts at the beginning of this training block in. And today we did a workout that reminded me of some of the workouts I used to do with Cam in the Boston 12. So getting down to that 540, 550 range, ripping off some mile repeats. Today it was 2 mile repeats, but I used to do all that in the Boston 12. And today the Mach 6 handled a Boston 12 type workout amazingly well. And there's no plate in here. This is not a true race day foam. It's more of a high-end training foam. It's also $20 cheaper MSRP. So again, Hoka Mach 6, one of the most versatile shoes out there. The second run today was something that I normally would have used a shoe like the Nova Blast for, and the Mach 6 did it really well. Then the first run today was one where I would have used a shoe like the Boston 12, and the Mach 6 handled it really well. So at 50 miles, really impressed with this guy. I want to do a 20 plus mile long run. To be fully transparent, I'm not sure if that's going to happen before this marathon. So it might be a while because I only have 2 long runs left, and I think I'm only going to do one more 20 miler. So it might be April, May before we get a long run in this guy. So that's why I want to give you all my thoughts. And now I think it's going to perform great for those 20 mile long runs, but only the miles can tell. So 50 miles on this guy, lots of fun, lots of good times in it. Highly recommend. That's all I have for you today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video.